Where to start? So Donald Trump is clearly very upset about being a convicted criminal. He talks about the judge being conflicted. In what way is the judge conflicted?
Tom, thanks for having me. That goes to an association between the judge's daughter and the Democrat Party. She's a Democrat activist, had raised a lot of money, I think was the allegation related to this campaign, to the criminal charges and so forth. So that, I think, is, as best I can tell, was the allegation of conflict. A member of the judge's family was benefiting from this financially and was politically motivated.
What did you make of that? You worked with him.
Of that, or what's going on?
Yeah, of so far what we've heard of Donald Trump, the criminal.
In the first, I guess he's been on now for about 10 minutes. And what I pay attention to, Tom, is sort of the stuff that most folks don't see. He's not reading.
Yep.
He's not using the teleprompter. He's essentially just walked out and started talking. I've seen him do this, by the way. He could go for an hour or an hour and a half. There's no continuity here. It's just essentially a venting, an airing of the grievances. And I'm not sure how effective it's going to be politically.
It felt, I mean, the first 10 minutes of this, as you say, it could be quite a long time before he finishes, felt like a Trump rally, but in Trump Tower, with Trump rambling from one allegation to one allegation about woe is me. But as you say, what do you think the effect is going to be of him presumably challenging this and telling his supporters that this is a scam?
Yeah, here's the calculus, to the extent there is one, that I think that the former president is making. This is a way to motivate his base. There's no question about it. I thought he might come out. I gave about a 20% chance that he would come out today and try and be sort of calmer, more statesmanlike, and appeal to folks in the middle. Continue this victimization, look at what they've done to me, type of attitude. It's not the way he's gone. I think the calculus they've run is there's a big enough base for Donald Trump for him to win the election. And even though he's lost some votes because of this, there's going to be Trump voters who won't vote for him now because he's a convicted felon. They still think they have enough folks to win. They still think that Biden is such a weak candidate. The economy is so poor, at least perceived as being so poor here, that they're going to win anyway as long as their people show up to vote. So Donald Trump is not on the stage right now, at least in the first 10 minutes. I had to step away to talk to you. He's not appealing to undecided voters in the middle. He's talking his base to make sure they show up to vote.
Do you think that even with a criminal conviction, the polls are currently suggesting it's either neck and neck or Trump is going to win? Do you think even with a criminal conviction, he can still win?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. And it's completely legal, by the way. I think you and I have talked about this before. It bears repeating, however, is that he can run from jail, he can win from jail, and he can actually technically serve from jail. Under our constitutional structure, all you have to be president is 35 and a natural-born citizen. That's it. So a felony conviction is not a legal preclusion to running or being president.
You worked with him in the White House as president. Do you think he would be a good president?
A lot of it depends on, and that's why I'm very curious to see the language here today and over the course of the next couple of days. Donald Trump, the revengeful, aggressive sort of, I don't know the noun I'm looking for, but a revengeful Donald Trump might not be a very productive president. A Donald Trump who gets elected and said, you know what, gosh darn it, half the country didn't want to see. I'm going to prove them wrong and show you what a great president I can be, and go back to the things he did in the first term. Keep in mind, we had tremendous growth in the first term with no inflation. He started no wars. So he had a lot of good things to look to. I don't know what Trump 2.0 looks like at this point. And I'm not sure you get a good picture of it today, but you certainly get some evidence that the vengeful side of Donald Trump may be beating out the statesman side of Donald Trump.
Do you believe in any of the stuff about it being a rigged trial or a scam, Mick?
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it. I mean, keep in mind, the district attorney in this particular case, under our system, this district attorney is an elected official. And he actually ran saying, if you vote for me, I'll go get Donald Trump. The previous elected Democrat DA in Manhattan, a man by the name of Cyrus Vance, a very highly regarded Democrat. His father, I think, was a Secretary of State under the Carter or the Clinton administrations, chose not to bring these charges. The Federal Election Commission chose not to bring any charges. The federal courts in New York chose not to bring these charges. It was just this particular Democrat in this particular small jurisdiction of Manhattan. So I absolutely think there's a political element here. It doesn't undo the fact that the convictions come through and the jury system worked, but certainly the case can be made that this was a political witch hunt.
And I think we're going to hear that case in some form over the course of the next few months. Very good to talk to you. Thanks for stepping aside from that press conference to speak to us. Mick Mulvaney, former Chief of Staff for US President Donald Trump.